Hi guys, remember me? This is Mary. I'm happy to be back with you today. I hope you all had a wonderful, blessed Easter. We had a wonderful Easter weekend, and today's card is going to be a thank you card that I'm going to send to a good friend of mine. She had us over for Easter dinner, and it was just the most wonderful day, so I wanted to be sure and tell her how much we enjoyed spending time with them. So we're going to use this Die Cuts with a View violet leaf stack. I just love these papers. It's got purple, green, a teal, just gorgeous papers in the stack. We're going to use the Artiste cartridge, and guys, if you don't have any of the Close to My Heart cartridges, any of them are great, but this one is just chock full of cuts that you will use over and over again. But you can get these from Melanie Brown. I'll have a link under this video. We're going to use an oldie but a goodie, the Walk in My Garden cartridge. This has some beautiful flowers in there. And from the Cardz TV Heartfelt Wishes stamp set, we're going to use Thanks a Bunch. So I'm going to get everything moved out of the way, and we're going to get started on this thank you card. We'll get started with a white card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded, and this is an A2 size card. We've got this purple mat and this purple and white striped mat, and these two came from that Die Cuts with a View violet leaf stack. And I'm going to grab my ATG gun and get these adhered to the front, just like that. Here's our card base all ready. Now from the Artiste cartridge, on page 31, there is this beautiful doily. In fact, I think this is the first page. It is the first page of cuts. Under accent 1, there it is right there. And I wanted to put this doily on the front of the card because my friend loves vintage and shabby chic, and I thought she'd really like the stripes, and I think she'll like this doily. So I cut this doily out at 3 3/4 inches, and it's on page 31, and that's out of white. Now I'll have all the dimensions, page numbers, and the supplies that I used at the end of the video, guys. So you can look there if you'd like to recreate this card. I'm going to go ahead and just get this adhered down with my ATG gun and a little bit of two-way glue, and then I'll show you what we're going to put on top of this. I think this is going to be a really pretty card. I've got my doily adhered down. Now I wanted to put a pot of tulips on top of this. So I went to the Walk in My Garden cartridge. On page 99, I cut the tulip border. And here you can see I cut the background for the tulips, the leaves and stems, out of green. And then the tops I cut out of lavender. And you'll find both of those cuts under border on page 99. And I wanted to put these in a flower pot. So for that, I turned over to page 91. And I cut this flower pot right here. And then this is the top of the flower pot, the rim that goes around it. And I'm going to pop this up on some foam tape to give it a little bit more dimension. And also to add some more dimension, I'm going to take some Distress ink. This is shaded lilac, and I don't have an ink pad for this one, so I'm just going to take the brush in and scribble some on this stamp block, and then use a sponge dauber, and I'm going to go around my purple blooms of my tulips. And to go around my flower pot, I'm going to use some Tim Holtz Tea Dye Distress ink, and I do have an ink pad for that, so I'll use a dauber to go around that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then I'll take my two-way glue pen and get the blooms put on my tulip stems. Get this popped up. Well, I'll show you when we come back, but I'm going to go ahead right now, and you can barely see this on there, but I'm going to go ahead and do some shading around my tulip blooms. And this works great, guys. If you don't have the marker, the stamp pad, use your distress markers. Okay, I've got all the blooms for my tulips shaded, and you can see how it really helps to define the edges. And then I went around my little pot, and I've got this on some foam tape. And this is really going to add some dimension to this pot by popping up that rim. And it creates a little shadow under there and really gives it a lot of dimension and a very realistic look. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead, take my tweezers and my two-way glue pen and get my tulips put together. And you want to be careful when you're putting these on. Some of them are a little bit smaller than others, so make sure you've got them in the right place before you glue them down. Now I've got my flowers all adhered down, and before I put the pot on here, I decided I wanted to put a little piece of ribbon across there with a little bow. So I had this lavender ribbon in my stash, and I've put some ATG on the back to make it sticky, and I'm just going to put that right across the rim of that pot and tuck it around to the back. And I've got a little bow that I'm going to put on there with a glue dot. But let's go ahead and get some foam tape on the back. Now let me get the glue dots and get one on the back of this little bow. And this was just some ribbon. I think I probably got it at Walmart. It's probably off-right. 1/4 inch ribbon. And we'll put my little bow right there. Love that. So pretty. Perfect for spring. Now for my sentiment, I wanted to cut a banner, which I did. And I'm going to put that right across there with some foam tape on the end. And I found that banner on page 66 in the Artiste cartridge. So if you're like me and banner challenged, you can't cut the ends very well, that's one of the things that's in this cartridge, guys. There it is right there. And that's under accent 3. You would hit shift and accent 3 on page 66. And I cut this one at 1/2 inch. And I'm going to put some foam tape on the end and some ATG right there and get that adhered down. And then we're going to come back and take a look at this beautiful finished card. Love it. Here's my finished card, guys, and I think it turned out really pretty. I forgot to tell you, I used Memento Tuxedo Black ink and that Cardz TV Heartfelt Wishes stamp set for my sentiment right there. But this is one of those cards that I think is multi-purpose. This could be a get well card, thinking of you card, a happy birthday card. This would make a beautiful Mother's Day card, I think. So there you have it, guys. My finished thank you card for my good friend who had us over for Easter. Thanks so much for coming by and spending some time with me today, guys. Thank you for your wonderful comments, your thumbs up, and thank you for subscribing. And I will see you again soon with another card. Bye now.